Traditional ways we fund infrastructure projects like the state and federal gas taxes are not keeping up with rising costs and increased populations, not to mention better fuel efficiencies and the advent of electric vehicles. That's why an interactive tool was developed by a team from the University of Texas's Center for Transportation Research.
The objectives of the project were really twofold. First, we wanted to assess what sorts of innovative financing mechanisms are used by other DOTs within the United States and other places in the world. The other is to be able to compile together all these different innovative financing mechanisms and be able to assess them against the characteristics of different projects and then recommend what's the most appropriate funding and financing mechanism for this particular type of project.
So say they need a new bridge, what type of revenue source should they seek out for that? And how they do that is by entering different characteristics of the project in order to determine which financing mechanisms match best.
Along with these different funding and financing mechanisms are descriptions of what each of them are and references on where one can go for more information. Plus there's information on pros and cons of using them, like where they can be used, where they cannot be used.
There's projections and then there's appropriateness. So the appropriateness says how appropriate a certain mechanism would be for a type of project. And then the projections tell you if we increase these mechanisms, how much more revenue will TxDOT get in the next 30 years.
A future work that we would love to do is to be able to pair the appropriateness part with the projections. I think if we're able to do that, then we have a tool that can really be used comprehensively, both in the planning stages, but also for the time that funding is allocated to projects.
It is really beneficial for anyone in TxDOT who's looking to understand financing mechanisms better for specific projects, as well as what different financing mechanisms can bring forth to the table as to like how much more revenue they can get.
This tool, this mechanism and research project helps TxDOT to be able to communicate to the legislature the options that we have for funding and how we can fund projects on the long term.
One of the most immediate objectives of this tool is to be able to use it as an education tool to tell policymakers what kinds of funding and financing mechanisms are available and to tell them, hey, given a particular future scenario, this could be possible.
For more information and to find the publications for this project, please visit the TxDOT Research Library at the link shown below.